Hi everybody, hi beautiful people. Hope that y'all have an amazing day. I'm going to be talking about or telling a story time. So I'm going to tell a story about my toxic family dynamic, and the reason why I consider my mom to be dead, even though she's still very much breathing. So just to give you a little bit of details about how it works. Majority of Caribbean family works, or my family dynamic. Let me just speak about my family. I grew up with, I want to say I grew up with them, but I have lots of siblings, and I think one of the biggest thing that I seen within my family is that when something is done, and it's regarding my mom, we don't hold her accountable, and she tends to get away with it. And it's a lot within the Caribbean community that I've noticed. Oh my gosh, I'm so white. Over the years. First thing is, I just give you an example before I jump into the story. If a misunderstanding or argument happened between my mom and and I'm in the right, and you speak to someone within the Caribbean community, they will tell you, oh, well, you just have one mom. She could have called you all kind of names. She could have belittled you. She could have made you feel this small. And it's the same thing with my siblings. They'll be like, oh, that's just her. That's just mommy. That's just her, right? So to start off, when I was 8, I moved to America, and 8.5, I moved to America to live with my dad. And everything was going great. I love living with my dad. In fact, I was living with him and one of his girlfriend, his baby mom at the time. I will call her Ashley. And life was great. Life was great. I would talk to my mom on the phone. My mom was really much so influencing me to kind of break up my dad and his girlfriend, cause problem. And I did. I listened to her, because at that time I was just transitioning from my mom to, my dad. My dad ended up getting locked up, and he ended up in jail. And during those years, I was moving from family to family, feeling a little bit lonely. And obviously I was also becoming a teenager. So I became rebellious and, sneaking out, you name it. I probably was doing it back then. But after so many years, I talked to my mom here and there. She tried to do stuff, but she was living in Jamaica. Then she transitioned, or migrate to the United Kingdom, because her side of the family is from there. And she used to send me stuff here and there, or I talked to her here and there, but it wasn't nothing consistent. In 2015, I believe I was 25. I got my life together. I had an apartment. I had my daughter. My daughter was about 5 or 6. And my long dream was to go back home. I had this picture in my mind of how it was at home, and now that I'm going back, how it would still be. I miss the elders within our community. I just had this whole thing figured out in my mind. I got there, and how I thought stuff was going to be is not how it was. But to backpedal a little bit, before I went there, I got everything together. Me and my daughter was going to go and travel. She's gonna meet her family, because she didn't meet a lot of her family because we live in America. And I was excited. She was gonna be free. She's able to just be on our block, and she's safe. My family is pretty well known. I was just excited. But a week before I went to Jamaica, one of my sisters that live up here, actually reached out to me and let me know that my mom was going down the same week that I was. I considered canceling the trip, but I decided not to because I spent so much money already. And I was just like, I'm going. I spoke to my brother. My brother came and picked me up at the airport. My dad met us at the family home. When I say family home, the home belongs to both my mom and my dad. And I was having the best time. My dad would come every morning because he doesn't live at the family home because they're no longer together. He would come every morning. We would go to Pizza Hut. I would enjoy with my family. Me and my sister went to the beach with her kids. It was just amazing. Like, I was living on cloud nine. This is what I was missing. That family dynamic. I was hanging out with my nephew. I was just having the time of my life. Well, time of my life was about to end. 2 days later, my mom came to Jamaica. And that day was also my birthday, July 19th. I was hanging out at my sister's house with my dad. And my dad received the call from my brother stating that he's going to go pick up my mom. And he went ahead and pick up my mom. I immediately told my dad that I need to go back to the family home and grab my stuff. And like I just want to book into a hotel because I haven't spoken to my mom previously 2 years before that because of the fact that she called me one day. I was working. She and my grandma was having issue. And my mom tend to call me with all the problems. She just liked to see drama. She just liked drama. Wherever she go, drama follows. She loved drama. So she called me and she and my grandma was having an issue and I was just tired. Every day she would call, she would complain about my older sister in Jamaica. She would complain about my older brother. She would complain about my sister in New York. And I let her have it. I just let her know, like, listen, as long as y'all not hurting each other, I really don't care. I really, truly do not care. And she pretty much started losing her mind on the phone. So you're saying that you're on her side? I said, that's not what I'm saying. She's also a manipulator, so she tends to make stuff up so you can feel bad. I was like, that's not what I'm saying. This is not what I'm saying. She's like, yes, that's what you're saying. So I got silence on the phone. She was going off. She was calling me all kinds of names that you can think of. She was calling me pretty much a scum, a dirty girl. She was calling me F me. She was pretty much just saying, I think I'm American. I'm acting like a Yankee. So a Yankee is pretty much somebody that transitioned from another country. Jamaica use that slang a lot. Somebody that transitioned from another country and is acting like those people from that country. So I'm acting like an American then. That's what they used to call American, a Yankee. She was just going off. I never said anything. She ended up hanging up the phone. She had called my brother, told my brother that I hang up on her. And I let him know I didn't hang up on her. I just didn't answer her. And I let her go ahead and hang up the phone on her home. So that was 2 years prior to me going to Jamaica. So I was already like, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want this drama. It's my first year back to Jamaica. It was like 15 years or so, right? So I'm like, I'm not doing this. Like, I want to leave that. I want to go get my stuff. But my dad insists that we're not leaving. He was like, we're not leaving. It's all going to work out. And when we see her, we'll talk it out. We're all adult. We'll get it together. And, I believed him. You know what I mean? He's a very positive man. So I believed him. But we're still at my sister's home with her friends. We're sitting outside. We're just having a great time. I'm standing up. I'm feeling my outfit. I just think that I am the shit. Okay. My mom then starts to walk up. My mom is the type of person that she wants all attention on her, no matter the circumstance. If it's your day, she needs to get the attention. If you're graduating, she's gonna tell you about when she graduates. That's the type of person she is. She never celebrates your win genuinely. You know, never celebrate your win genuinely. Like, never be like, great job, daughter. Good job on what you're doing. So she popped up at my sister's house, and the first thing she said is, "Hey, everybody." Let me go ahead and give you the Jamaican. "Hey, everybody, wagwan. Ma look good, don't?" Pretty much saying she looks nice, right? And everybody's like, "Yeah, how you doing?" A lot of people tend to suck up to individual that's overseas because they want something from them. So I was there. I said nothing. I was silenced as a lamb. I didn't say anything. I didn't want to say anything. My dad was there. I said to my dad, "Hey, Dad, let's go." Because I'm still trying to convince my dad to just take me to go get my stuff so we can get out of here. My dad said, "Sharon, you look nice." That's my mom's name. "You look nice," or whatever. "Yeah," and she was like, "Yeah, I know. And I'm standing there, still not saying anything. I start to walk off, and my mom gripped my shirt up and had me like this. And the shirt that I had on was like a small, like, tank top type of shirt with the neck tied around the back, and she's gripping it, and I'm like, "Get off of me." I didn't say anything to this lady. My dad ended up in the middle, and he's like, "Get off of her. She's a grown woman. Don't you see this is a grown woman? You think she's a kid? You think she's a child? She's not. Get off of her. Get off of her." And she's like, "This is my child. You the reason why she act like this." My dad was like, "Act like what? Act like I can't let a grown person act any way they want to. She gonna act. She got a mind of her own. She gonna act how she feels like acting." She was yelling. She was screaming. I mean, the entire neighborhood came out. It was so embarrassing. It was so embarrassing. She was calling me all type of name. I mean, it was so embarrassing. I just kept on saying, "Get off of me." She still had my clothes gripped up. My dad got into the middle of it, and he was like, "Get off of her, get off of her, get off of her." My mom ended up ripping my shirt. My boobies was out. I was exposed. It was so embarrassing because I haven't seen these people in years, over 15 years. So people was coming out just to see the drama, just to see the excitement that she was creating. I was so upset. I was like, "Yo, get off of me, get off of me, get off of me." So it ended up that my dad ripped her hand, and obviously my shirt is already, so pretty much my entire shirt is now ripped. So I'm there holding it up. Got in my dad's car. My dad decided that, all right, I'm going to go get your stuff. And he felt horrible, and he kept apologizing. "I'm going to go get your stuff so we can get out of there or get away from her." I was crying. I was bawling. I was just crying, snot, everything, because I just could not believe this is happening. And my brother girlfriend at the time lived like walking distance, 3 minutes away, but my dad drove his car. My dad had to stop at my brother girlfriend because my brother never walked with my mom to my sister's house, and my sister's house and my brother girlfriend house is 3 minutes apart. So my dad drove there because I did not have a key to the family home, because again, I don't live in Jamaica. My brother had the key to the family home. I'm sorry, my daughter is a little sick. So my dad decided to stop there to get the key, to tell him what's going on. By the time we get there and my dad is talking to my brother, and my mom walk around from my sister home, and I got in the car, and she pretty much tried to get in the car to fight me. My dad is telling her to get away from the car. She's yelling and screaming, and it was just like a mess. And my daughter was like, "Stop hitting my mom." Again, my daughter have never witnessed anything like that, any domestic violence or anything like that. Me and her dad never really argue, while she's there. We generally would text instead of arguing, so she never seen anything. She was just in shock, and she just kept screaming, "Stop hitting my mom. Stop it. Stop it. Get off my mom." And my mom is through the car hitting me, just acting crazy. My brother ended up coming out. My brother was just like, "All right, here's the key." Now, my house from the family home from his girlfriend house is probably like 10 minutes, so or less. But my dad ended up getting in the car, telling her to get away from his car. He drove me to the family home. I went in the family home. I started to grab my suitcase.